Hey everybody, it's Andy. For those of you who don't know me, I am a three-star diamond coach. I've been an active coach for almost 18 months now. I signed up as a discount coach in January of 2014, but I didn't really dive in until that like end of spring, early summertime. And once I decided to dive in, I've just hit the ground running, and I've tried to learn everything I can since then. My journey definitely started with a physical change. I started with T25 in Shakeology and lost a decent amount of weight and just continued on and tried new program after new program after that, and I love it. And so it was natural for me to want to share about it. The reason I was a discount coach for so long was I was really skeptical of the business, to be honest, and I already had a lot going on. So I kept using the excuse that I didn't have time to be doing this, and I already have a side business, a different side business, and a regular job, and kids, and a husband, and house to maintain, and everybody has their long list of things. But once I decided to go all in, I had that feeling of, why not me? Why can't I make this work too? Because it's really changed my life. And before becoming a coach, I already felt like it had changed my life in terms of the physical side of things, because I always carried around too much weight for my frame, and I was never able to lose it and keep it off consistently throughout my entire life. And so I had just resorted to the fact that that's just how I am. That's just how I'm made. And thanks to Beachbody workouts and Shakeology, I learned that that's not how my body's made, and that's not how I'm supposed to feel all the time. I feel way better now. I have way more energy. And so I thought, if it can change my life like this for the better, I want to shout it from the rooftops and share with everybody else. So fast forward to now, I love being a coach. It's become such a passion of mine. It's now changed our lives financially. It's allowing me to stay home more with my kids, and I just love it. And so I really want to empower you guys to run with this. Everybody has a lot on their plate. Everybody's got so many things going on, so many balls in the air. And I'm not at all claiming to be the most busy person, but I am a very busy person. And I feel like it's one of those things that if you want it bad enough, you will find the time in your day to make it work. Just like Shayna talked about in her time management video, it may mean that you have to take out other things that aren't as important to you to slide in some Beachbody coaching time. But it can be done, and I'm excited for each and every one of you, and I'm rooting for each of you to hit diamond. We've got just about a week to go, just under a week, to hit that November 18th deadline, and then you need to lock it in for the 6 weeks to come on the retreat with us. I might have I will have a baby with me at the retreat, but I'm excited to meet all of you in person, all the new and veteran diamonds. And today I'm going to be sharing with you about overcoming objections and building your credibility. So like I mentioned, I had kind of a slower start as a coach because where my mindset was. My mindset at the beginning was not, I'm going full force. It was, I'm a discount coach. And as my close family and friends saw my physical transformation, it was natural for them to ask me what I was doing. So my first 5 to 10 customers, a few of them became coaches, were close family and friends who, for the same reasons that I found all the value in these products, they found that too and were inspired by my journey. So I think that if you are in this and you're coming out the gates from day one, like, I want this business to work, more power to you, and you can definitely do this without a doubt. It's going to take time to build that credibility, though. The reason I say I started slow is because I was slowly building that credibility, and I probably could have done it much quicker had I had my aha moment about the business sooner on, but that just wasn't my journey. So if you're in this group, you probably already had that moment, and that's amazing and awesome, and it's just going to set you apart from other coaches. So I'm excited for you in that. So in terms of building credibility, the biggest thing is you have to show up every day. Doing your vital behaviors. You have to be a product of the product. You have to constantly be inviting people to your upcoming challenge groups, to your sneak peeks, to your glimpse into coaching, to the events that Kelly's been hosting for us as a way to bring more people onto our teams, things like that. I suggest making a calendar so that you don't feel overwhelmed in your super busy day or super busy week and month of what is your next month going to look like. I already have all of December planned out. And that gives me so much peace of mind that I'm not going to hit December and then go, oh shoot, what am I going to do for this month? I know when I'm going to run my groups. I know when I'm going to promote my groups. And I even have some of my promo posts already planned out. Partially because I'm going to have a brand new baby. I need to get as much work done now as possible. But that's how I try to maintain my business all throughout so that the month doesn't hit and then hit me upside the head. So when you're building credibility, your number one thing is to be a product of the product. You need to be doing your workouts every day and drinking your Shakeology every day. Got mine right here. And showing people how amazing these products are. You know, people don't want to learn from an infomercial. They don't want to see people they don't know get these amazing results. You know, everybody kind of assumes that that's not true. Well, you're the truth in all of this. You are a real person that these people on your Facebook and your Instagram really know. And so as they start to see your transformation, whether you're sharing your transformation as it is happening now, or maybe you're a coach that decided to jump into the business side once you already hit your goal, either way, there's a million ideas on how to share that, and that's your job. Your job is not to be salesy and come at people trying to get everybody to buy a challenge pack. Your job is to share your journey, yourself, how these products have helped your life, so that people come to you from a place of trust, that you're not trying to push products on them, but you're trying to inspire them to give it a try because we know that it works. So with that, if you're showing up every day to your job, it's also going to send a message to your team that you mean business and you're doing the things that you need to do daily in terms of your business and monthly, you know, hitting Success Club and adding people to your team, so that that trickles down to your team as well, not just to challengers and potential customers. And that also will help build credibility within your team as well. Think about this. Are you a hobby coach or are you a career coach? Is this something that you want to build an actual income from? If it is, then you have to treat it like that. Kelly said in a call once that sometimes she thinks, you know, what if Carl Deichler called me and asked me what I had done that day or that week in terms of my business? Would he be proud of me? Would he want to give me a raise? Or would he look at me like, you know, you're making a decent amount of money, but I don't see you putting in the work? So think about that. If you're a hobby coach, your paychecks are going to reflect that. If you are an awesome challenge group coach and you are constantly running challenge groups but not recruiting, then your paycheck is going to reflect that, because unfortunately the retention of people drinking Shakeology, not as coaches or not as discount coaches, isn't as great as we wish it would be. You know, I truly believe that everybody should drink Shakeology every day, but that's a tough sell to maintain your Shakeology customers throughout if they're not coaches or discount coaches. So the two need to go hand in hand with that. And throughout your challenge group, you can also be thinking about ways to build credibility. That's what you're doing. You're giving them a glimpse into how you operate as a coach, so that towards, you know, that second, third week into your challenge group, when you're reaching out to people and saying, hey, you know, you've been getting results and you're doing so awesome in this group, have you ever thought about becoming a coach? They've already learned to trust you, and it's that much easier for them to open up to the idea of maybe joining your team. Also, you want to be thinking about who your market is and talking to them from that place. So if you, I'll just use my market, for example. Most of my market is moms, because I'm a mom and that's what people relate to. So when I plan my posts, a lot of times I'm trying to speak right to the busy mom that has a lot going on and very little time to find time for them. And that's how I planned on my promo posts. Throughout this pregnancy, I had all these plans of videos I'd be doing and workouts I'd be doing, and I got to do some of that up until about 30 weeks, until I had pretty significant complication that's made it so that I can't work out. And now it's been over a month of that. So I didn't lose focus on the business. I didn't lose focus on my end goals for the end of the year. I just changed up my game plan. So it's, coaching can be the best of the best, or sometimes you have some lulls in your business, but you have to look at it like whatever comes your way, you just have to adjust the plan. You don't adjust the goal. So with that, I've been trying to reach out to other pregnant women to say, look, I can't even work out right now, but I can help you. I can help you have a really healthy pregnancy. I can focus on my clean eating. Here's a clean eating menu that I can provide for you. I'm still drinking my Shakeology. So I've just kind of warped my business a little bit in that way. So think about how you can do that as life hits you throughout this business. It's up to you to mold the business to keep it going throughout whatever comes your way. And that would be the case in any business, right? One thing I get asked a lot is, how much are my actual paychecks right now? And obviously that's not what I'm getting into right now. But my point is that if you if you want to create a full-time income in this, think of other things in life that you would actually be able to do that within 1 year, because there's not many things. So sorry about that. I think I'm back. If you're really wanting this to work, don't get frustrated that it takes time. Most jobs, you go to school for years and years, and you come out with a degree, and then you start working, and it takes time to build up the ladder. Well, this is no different, but this is a faster path to making a decent income, making a full-time income. So continue to build that credibility and know that the business is going to take some time. It doesn't happen overnight. And that all stems from how you're forming relationships with people so that people are trusting you, so that you're long lasting in this business, and so that people realize that you're not going anywhere. That's a huge thing. And a huge thing that I've used to drive my business is all the skeptics out there, all the haters. Haters are going to hate. Anytime I was up against that, I just told myself, I'm going to prove them wrong. They might think this is an overnight thing for me, and in a couple months I'm going to be, not coaching anymore or give it up or whatever, but I'm not. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to prove them wrong, and I'm going to do this for me and my family. I think that mindset is huge, and I think it's helped really give me the drive and the push to build my business, and I want you to have that same feeling about it. So don't let those sort of obstacles get in your way. The people who you want to attract, like-minded people. So the people who you want in your business, if you're working on forming relationships before you just dive in and cold message somebody, if you're working on building that credibility and giving people time to think about which program they might want and consider Shakeology versus other things, and just giving them the information, but allowing them the time to pick, they are going to get better results, and they're going to be a lot more likely to stick with you as a coach and maybe even join your team. So all of that takes time. So with that, you want to be constantly building rapport with people. Encourage them to share their story on Facebook, just like you do. So like I mentioned, 2 to 3 weeks into a challenge group, I reach out to each of my challengers and really pump them up individually. If they've been really active in the group, I give them a huge shout out and let them know that I noticed, and I noticed that their results are highly due to the fact that they're so engaged in the group, and I love that, and I kind of plant the seed about coaching. So the more you pour into people, the more they're going to want to work with you, from a genuine place. I don't do any of this from a non-genuine place. I would much rather somebody get results from something that works for them than me just to sell the 21-day fix because it's on sale. So when you're building relationships with people and finding out what's going to work best for them, always remember that you're not just trying to sell what is on sale that month because it might seem like the easiest thing to do. I've made that mistake before of trying to sell Pio because it was on sale, but yet the 21-day fix is just a really good fit for most people, and it was the better fit for this person. And I had to take a step back and go, whoa, let me really listen to what this person's saying about their nutrition and what kind of workouts they want, and not just talk about Pio because it's on sale. So that also comes with building credibility. And I told the person, you know, I'm not at all trying to have you spend any more money, but I want you to get the program that's going to work better for you. She got amazing results and thanked me after the fact, after trying a sneak peek of PIO that she actually she didn't like it at all. So thank goodness she picked the right program for her. So always keep that in mind too. You want to do less talking and more listening when you are talking to people or messaging people, so that you really find what's going to be best for them. So you want to be selling to their personality also, not to your personality. So I'm the type of person that if somebody comes to me and offers me something or asks me if I want to try something, I'm not really likely to just dive right in. I mean, look how long it took me to become a coach. But once I decide I want to buy, I want to know how much is it, where can I get it, how fast can it be at my house, because I want to start tomorrow. So think about people that you're talking to, and if you have already gone through a lot of your warm market and you're reaching out to people you don't know yet, those people are going to take even more time to get to know so that you can better serve them as well. When you're talking to family and friends, you know them, so you know how to speak to their personality and how to help them without just keeping in mind that they might not have that same reaction. You know, maybe they are the type that are going to dive right in. So you need to be careful what you suggest to them because you want to make sure it's the best program for them. You definitely want to be serving, not selling. You're always thinking about how you can serve somebody, not just sell to them. Think about a waiter at a restaurant. So when you go to a restaurant and you sit down at a table, the waitress knows that you're going to buy something, right? So as you're talking to somebody, it's not that you have the mentality in your head that, oh, I know they're going to buy something, but you're taking the time to find out their needs and their goals and giving them a menu of what they have to choose from by describing the different workouts and what their options are. And then you kind of take a step back and let them have some time to decide so that you're not just pushing things on them. You also want to be educated on everything we have to offer. I have worked through most of the new programs, like I said, but programs that I haven't done, thanks to On Demand, I get on and I test them out so that I know how to talk about them. I go on YouTube and I watch videos so that I can either send the videos to people. I always make sure it's either the actual promo video or myself doing the workout from On Demand. Don't send another coach doing the workout. Make sure it's either you or straight from Beachbody. And really get to know all the products. Another example of that is the performance line. Since I'm pregnant, I haven't tapped into that yet. So when I came home from Summit, I brought some home for my husband. I said, you got to try this and you got to tell me how it makes you feel, what you think, compare it to E&E, because he had been drinking E&E, so that I can tell people about it. Also, with being educated on the products, you also have to think about your own market. Because again, for me, the performance line hasn't been a huge thing. I don't think I've really sold it to anybody other than my brother who does CrossFit, because my market doesn't really reach the type of people that would be interested in it. And so I don't want to go on my social media and put every product on blast all the time. Oh, we came out with this, buy this, now buy this, now buy that. So I'm very strategic with who I even talk to about certain products, but I still want to know about them and I want to know how effective they are from somebody that I know that's tried them, aka my husband or my brother. And that's kind of how I use all those products. So you still need to know about them. Same with the Boost. I love the Boost. But I've been personally very careful with how I market those as well, again, because I don't want to come across as just a salesperson. So rather than putting it all over my Facebook, I've talked individually with people after knowing how their nutrition is, or maybe some issues have come up with, I've been doing the diet and I feel like I need a little bit more of this, or I'm feeling a little bit constipated or whatever, and then I'll suggest the Boost. Or people who tell me that they're really terrible about eating their greens. Perfect. That's a perfect way to introduce the Boost. So definitely be educated on them and try as many things as you can yourself. Just like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, people aren't going to buy the product just because you are talking all about it all the time. They're going to buy it because they want to see results. They want to see the results from you. So back to game plan A, you got to get those results. You got to get those before and after pictures. And that way you are the proof of how well these work. So if you're just posting a picture of your Shakeology every day, but you're not really engaging into the workouts and eating like you should and getting the results, then your credibility is not going to be there. So that's tough. I mean, trust me, going into having a baby in any day now to a couple weeks and knowing that I'm going to have a lot of work to do after, I've got an uphill battle, but you better guarantee that I'm up for the test and I'm going to work my hardest to get those results, not only for me personally and physically, but also from a business standpoint. And then closing the sale. So that somebody is wanting to buy. You want to talk to them like they're already ready to give you their credit card, even though they don't have to do that. So use verbiage like that. You want to talk about how great they're going to feel once it arrives. I always say something like, I can set up your enrollment right now, and then as soon as you're finished submitting it, it'll be on your doorstep within 5 to 7 days, which is perfect timing for upcoming challenge group. So definitely close the door on it and help them to finish up the transaction in a timely manner so that they're ready to start day one of your challenge group. I think that's huge. I've had people trickle in before, and they just don't seem to get the hype from the group and as good of results as people who start on day one with the entire group and have been following along throughout the week throughout the weekend with all the prep work to start a challenge group. So be mindful of that and really encourage people that there are deadlines, and that's for their benefit, not for yours, so that they are the most prepared to get the best results possible. That's what I always tell people, and I really believe that it's best for them to be ready to start. Let's talk about overcoming objections really quick, and then I'll stop rambling. I'm sorry. I tend to digress. Don't get discouraged. It's so easy to do in this business, but don't. Trust me. I can't even tell you how many coaches I've had quit, how many people I've had, cancel their Shakeology after a month, or whatever it is. It happens. Not everybody is going to buy in and then run with this. That's just life. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. I've made that mistake before of somebody signing up as a coach and telling me all their big dreams and everything. And, I just pour into them, as I do with everybody, because I love this. But then a few weeks, a couple months go by and nothing. And then I get the lovely email that they're quitting. That's going to happen. That's just how business is in any sort of capacity. And especially in a business like this that really takes drive, and it really takes somebody who is willing to go for it and work for it to really make it happen. Don't take it personal. If you stay true to who you are as a coach and who you are as a person, it's not personal when people quit. It's not personal if somebody tells you no. I have also learned that the hard way. Everybody takes it personal in the beginning, and sometimes some no's sting a little bit more. I realize that, especially when you get no's from people that you know really well. But the more you let it eat away at you, the more that's going to come across in your social media posts and how you reach out to new people going forward. So try not to let it really get to you. It's only going to make things a little bit more difficult for you. Always remember that no just means not right now. I get the question all the time, how do you hit Success Club so early in the month? Well, that's because I've been consistent. I've been consistent since I dove right into this, and I told myself Success Club 10 is non-negotiable. From the month I said, I am all in, I am doing this, I have hit Success Club 10, and that's because I work my booty off. I reach out to a ton of people. I invite a ton of people to challenge groups. I am constantly expanding my network. I'm constantly jumping into new groups on social media to meet new people, to talk to them, to strike up conversations just about life, and hoping that it leads to Beachbody. If the door opens, And I don't give up on people. So if I get a no, I write them down so that I go back to them in a couple months and just check in with them. And that doesn't mean I'm going back and I'm saying, hey, are you ready to buy something now? Hey, are you ready to be on my team now? I just go back and I say, hey, how are things going? Because I don't want people to think that I'm only making connections with people because of this business, because that's not true. I'm a total people person. I'm like, the more the merrier. Who wants to talk to me today? So it's from a very genuine place. And I can't tell you how many of those no's have turned into yeses. So the reason I have been hitting Success Club earlier in the month lately is people that told me no months ago, maybe 6 months ago or 4 months ago. And it just so happens that I strategically posted about the sale of the week or the sale of the month or whatever it is. And now they're ready. They've been watching me, or people on Facebook who say, who've never liked or commented on any of my posts. And then all of a sudden they'll come out of the woodworks and say, I've been watching you and I want to do what you're doing. How do I get my hands on that? So consistency and following up, you got to do them every single day, no matter what comes at you. Use the feel, felt, found concept. So if somebody tells you no, it's not for me, or I don't have time, or I just don't think an at-home program is going to work for me, you can say that you understand how they feel, because you felt the same way when you were approached about, or when you learned about at-home workouts, but you found that they actually do work. I mean, look at the pictures, or, describe which program you love best and why you love it the most and how you found that it really worked. And give them something to go on. And even if at the end of that conversation it's still a no, you planted a really good seed with that person that down the road that you'll water and will hopefully grow. So another thing that I've been doing a lot lately is not only just following up with people, but letting them know that, again, that I do care about them and it's not just about the business. So if I've been talking to somebody, I will be sure to go on their page frequently and comment on their kids' pictures and like their whatever I see on their page that is likable. And so trying to get to know them better that way, to see if they would be a good fit for our team, or, if there's any other way I can help them, or just to get to know them better. So I definitely recommend doing that. It gets you on people's radar. So when people tell you no, you want to stay on their radar. So if they ever change their mind, you are the person they go to. It's always such a bummer when you've asked somebody before or invited them to a challenge group and they've said no, thank you. And then you find out they bought it off Amazon or they bought it from a different coach. So you want to be the go-to person that they go to if they decide at any point. Always talk about the challenge pack option first. So once you've talked to somebody and you know which program they want, I always, and when they ask the price, I always say the price of the challenge pack. If they tell me they're not interested in Shakeology, of course I'm going to tell them what the program is alone, but I always talk as if the option is a challenge pack and go from there. And the way that I word that is just talking about how it gives you everything you need, from the workouts to the nutrition guide that comes with every program. If we're talking about the 21-day fix, then I always say it has the added nutrition component, and now Size does as well, with the portion control containers. And then, of course, with you as their coach, they get the accountability and the motivation and the inspiration to really see this through. And the other thing that I say constantly to people as I'm describing a challenge group is that it's the missing link in at-home workouts. So how long have at-home workouts been available to people? For a really long time. But thanks to Team Beachbody and allowing us to be coaches, it really helps people get results because they have that feeling of doing it with somebody else, being encouraged by somebody else and doing it alongside somebody else. So I talk about that a lot because people can very easily buy off an infomercial or something. Or like I said at the beginning of the call, they may think that it doesn't really work and that the infomercials are just, actors. But that's where you come in as a coach and you know that that's not true. What do you say when somebody says, I thought it was free? Well, you can talk about what options are free. Your free clean eating group, free crock pot group, a free abs, guns, and buns group if you wanted to do something like that. It's very important to offer free groups frequently, maybe not every single month, depending on your market and how you're doing, but at least a couple times a year at the least, because that's another way to open up a new market of people that maybe wouldn't reach out to you otherwise because maybe they really don't have the money to spend, but you can help them get results through simply clean eating and offering them a free menu. Or I love the on-demand offer. So now anytime I do a free clean eating, I try to encourage people to sign up for a free 30 days of on-demand because that does two things. It gives them access to try all of our workouts, even the new ones with the sneak peeks, and it already signs them up to you as their coach. So you, if they do purchase anything going forward, then you're already signed up as their coach. So hopefully they don't go buy it on Amazon. You also talk about just how the free groups can help them just to stay accountable. Maybe they already have their routine at the gym, but now you're giving them a free menu and you can help them stay accountable and help them get results even for nothing in return, because this isn't always about making a sale. This isn't always about making money. It's about truly helping people. And if you stay true to that, your business is going to boom. I don't offer prizes in my free groups. Sometimes I do. Kind of depends. If it's just a week-long clean eating group, I typically don't. But that's completely up to you. And that's another way, again, to build credibility and trust. I've had a lot of people do clean eating groups, and then I move them into my what I've always called my ongoing group. And it's been great for building credibility with people. They'll watch me for months. Maybe they don't post anything. In fact, my ongoing group is like total crickets right now. But it has a solid amount of people in there that I can kind of keep track of and check in with. And a lot of times those people who are in previous free groups or previous challenge groups that maybe didn't buy anything, those are the people that finally have learned to trust me and will come and say, okay, I think I want to try PIO this month or whatever it is. So I think that's another really good thing to do. When you're done with a challenge group, if you haven't already, form a group. I know Kelly does this as well, that is just free, open, accountability. I have a few menus posted in there, and I try to check in daily, and I try to do a little motivational post or Workout Wednesday or something like that here and there. It's definitely not as much value added as my other challenge groups, unfortunately, but at the same time, I want it to be set apart a little bit because it's a free group. Follow up, but don't be annoying. So I follow up. If they don't respond at all, I leave it. I leave it for at least a month, if not longer, and then I'll go back and just kind of send like, hey girl, how are things going on? Again, to stay on their radar and just see, sometimes, especially with Facebook Messenger, people will read a message and then they're too busy to respond, and then maybe they were interested, but then 3 weeks go by and you didn't know. You got to follow up. Always write their name down and keep track of the no's, keep track of the not right nows, keep track of anybody you've already talked to so that you can go back at some point and follow up with them. Always focus on building the relationship first before trying to tell them what you think they should buy, because that's not the point. You need to build the relationship, to build the credibility, to find out what they need so that you can serve them and be a good coach for them. And go for no. So my homework for you is to go for no. Kelly already posted that in the Hard Hitters page, so I'm not going to post a separate document. But I really encourage each of you to do that, not just in a challenge pack sale, but also in a recruiting way. Go for no for those coaches. I ask every single one of my challengers at some point if they're interested in coaching. You will be blown away. The people who I think, oh, she's totally going to want to do this, like it's totally her personality, they tell me no. And then the people who I'm like, there's no way she's going to want to do this, but I'm just going to ask her, they sign up. And of course, everything in between. So go for no. It doesn't hurt at all to ask. And a lot of people need that personal invitation. It's scary. It's scary when you're first doing it and you're like, I don't want them to think I'm like this weirdo. I don't want them to think I just am trying to build as many people on my team as possible. That's not what it's about. You have an opportunity to offer people. And if you're struggling with these no's and these obstacles, the biggest obstacle you need to get over is feeling like a saleswoman or feeling like you're pushing somebody into something. If you look at this whole opportunity for what it is, you have something to offer. So go offer it to everybody. Ask everybody. Invite everybody. And if they say no, write their name down and follow up later. I guaranteed your business will be booming. And I'm really excited for each of you. And have a great week. See you later.